Welcome to this rapid revision session on how did William secure England? Winning the Battle of Hastings was only the start of it. It wasn't a foregone conclusion that William would win overall, so let's have a look at how he did it. With Harold dead and the Saxons fleeing, William had won the Battle of Hastings. So what now? Before we have a look at these points to consider, you'll need to bear in mind, what does William need to do next to gain total power? Remember, he's won the battle, but he's not yet got the crown. Firstly, London was under Saxon control, making it easy for opposition to take over. All of William's troops were still in and around Hastings, easy to hem in if some sort of opposition can be mounted. Also at this point, Archbishop Stigand, on hearing of Harold's death, put forward Edgar Atheling for the throne. This was supported by the Witan, despite the fact that Edgar was only about 14 years old at the time. Better a Saxon than be taken over by the Normans. So ultimately, at this point, William needed to finish off Saxon resistance and get them to surrender, capture London as a key power base, end Edgar's claim to the throne, and force the English nobility to surrender. With the possible exception of ending Edgar's claim to the throne, William achieved all of this. We're now going to look at how. William decided to take a route to London that would use various tactics. I've colour-coded these in the labels that you're about to see. Any that are highlighted in green represent force and intimidation. Any in yellow, destroying the countryside, and any in blue show negotiations. First of all, you'll notice that I've got a battle symbol on the map there. That's the rough location of the Battle of Hastings. And in fact, all of these locations are approximate. They're there to illustrate the route rather than be truly geographically accurate. If you want geography lessons, you'll have to go to another teacher. Anyway, October the 14th, victory at the Battle of Hastings. That's a good start for William and shows force and intimidation. He's got a powerful army. So next, he heads on to Dover. William attacked Romney on his way to show his power, again destroying the countryside and showing force and intimidation. Once he gets to Dover, he establishes the castles. Now, surviving English earls met in London. They decided to continue resisting and, as we've said, put forward Edgar Atheling as king. William wasn't going to stand for this. He needed to capture London, and so what he did is he decided to choose an indirect circular route surrounding the capital and destroying villages as he went, and also establishing motte and bailey castles too. One at Dover, another at Canterbury, at Rochester, Newbury, Wallingford, and then at Berkhamsted. Notice that he's not attempting to take London directly. He doesn't know that he's got the forces to do that. Instead, he needs to terrify and weaken the Saxons before he can do that. William crossed the Thames and built castles at Newbury and Wallingford to secure his route, showing force and intimidation as he went. And then the masterstroke. William's strategy worked. The Anglo-Saxons were so intimidated that the submission of the earls followed at Berkhamsted. Lastly, William was able to move into London and capture it with barely a fight. He was crowned king on Christmas Day of 1066, although the scene there was fairly chaotic. When the Saxons shouted their acclamation and acceptance of the new king, admittedly probably with a few crossed fingers behind their backs, the Normans were fearing that the cheering was actually a riot breaking out, and they lit a fire. But regardless of how the coronation went, William was now undisputed King of England, at least for now. Some final points then. William needed to defeat remaining English resistance to his rule. The surviving English earls proclaimed Edgar Atheling as king. William attacked London indirectly, destroying villages and terrifying people in a circular route around London. Castles helped to secure his position. The English earls submitted to William at Berkhamsted. And William's men arrived in London virtually unopposed. He was crowned on Christmas Day. But he would suffer rebellions in the years afterwards, and getting the crown was only the start of trying to crush Anglo-Saxon will and become the undisputed and consolidated ruler of England. More on that and the ways that he did it, using castles, the feudal system and other ways in future videos. But for now, that's the end of this one. I hope it's been useful, and if it has, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. If there's a rapid revision topic that you're desperate for me to do a video on, pop it down in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. But for now, thanks for watching and goodbye.